So the MAGA world and the Republican base are beginning to get a bit out of sorts with the extent of Trump's grift. Yes, he's been at it for some time, but this plane gifted by Qatar to be a new Air Force One seems to be the thing that's finally starting to rub them up the wrong way. And this is something that we're beginning to see across a range of aspects of the MAGA universe. The National Review, for example, is an outlet that is consistently supportive of Trump and MAGA, always towing the party line and talking favourably about Trump and his administration. Not, however, on this occasion.
The National Review, one of the most conservative magazines out there, says it's a plain old grift. It's a poison plane. And welcome to the swamp now under new management. That's a taste of what you might call the intellectual side of conservative politics right now. Writers, editors at a place known for supporting the MAGA agenda on many issues, including crackdowns on immigration, saying enough is enough when it comes to this kind of what they call grift.
Aside from them, the Republican politicians themselves are starting to sing a different tune. Now I'll come into that and we'll look at some of what they're saying after a very quick word about the channel. I hope you're enjoying the video. As a psychiatrist who's fascinated by the worlds of politics and economics and philosophy, I love making these videos, and if you'd like to see more of them, then please do like and subscribe and comment in this video. What you'll find is that there's a beautiful community growing up around this channel. We're all going through a national and international trauma right now because of what's happening and where our leaders are taking us. And in this channel you'll find people honestly sharing their situation and their distress, and other people responding with kindness, empathy and compassion. So please join this wonderful community that we're forming, join in the comments and the dialogue that's happening. Usually, Republican politicians are extremely shy about voicing any criticism of Trump. In fact, they would literally run a mile from journalists to avoid saying anything negative about Trump. We know that deep down inside, lots of them have lots of reservations, but that doesn't actually provoke them to say anything in public because they're so scared of being primaried and their jobs are so important to them. Their insecurity is so great, their self-esteem is so tethered to their jobs that they're afraid to say anything that might risk a possible primary challenge, and so they'll say whatever is needed to stay in Trump's good books. But on this, they're beginning actually to speak out, almost certainly because they realise that a lot of the party is with them. But for the first time, we're hearing some directly contradictory voices.
It's a nice gesture. But I think maybe the thing to do is to say, hey, we appreciate it, but there's a lot of other things you could help us out with.
That doesn't seem to be right, and I think it's not going to pass the smell test.
Well, what I'm concerned is the safety of the president. I mean, Qatar's not, in my opinion, a great ally.
Well, they better sweep that plane from front to back.
Air Force One is a symbol of America. When it lands or flies, it is America flying and landing, and I want to make sure that this whole thing is kosher. Time will tell.
Well, listen, I'm not a fan of Qatar. I think they have a really disturbing pattern of funding theocratic lunatics who want to murder us. I also think the plane poses significant espionage and surveillance problems. So we'll see how this issue plays out, but I certainly have concerns.
Now, in the past, even when the publications have gone against him, even when the politicians have gone against him, he's always had his sort of loyal base of podcasters, of influencers who've been out there sort of advocating for him, shilling for him, taking the hits for him and rolling with whatever he does. But again, even this time, they're beginning to say, this is too much. We can't take this anymore.
That's not America first. Like, please define America first in a way that says you should take sacks of cash from the Qatari royals who are behind Al Jazeera. It just isn't America first in any conceivable way. If you want President Trump to succeed, this kind of skeezy stuff needs to stop.
My problem with taking this plane from Qatar is I do not think the President of the United States of America should sit and fly on a plane purchased with the same money used to murder American citizens.
Now, we know that what's really got them is this issue with the plane, this luxury plane that Qatar is giving to them. And who knows what price comes with that. It seems that Trump doesn't care, but rightly the country does. the country is actually becoming unified around this for the first time. And of course, we know that isn't the first of Trump's grifts. For example, he has been doing this since the very beginning of his administration. He was doing it in his first administration, as we know, and in the second administration, just for example, giving the roles that he gave to Elon Musk. He only gave Elon Musk those roles because Elon Musk gave him hundreds of millions of dollars. Effectively, Elon Musk bought a job in government for himself. And as I've mentioned in previous videos, people can buy influence with Trump, can buy meetings with Trump by buying up his cryptocurrency, therefore creating lots of income for him through transactional fees. So he has put the presidency, he has put the White House, he's put his administration up for sale for some time now. So this selling off effectively of Air Force One and of presidential travel to the highest bidder, which happens to be Qatar, is just the icing on a very, very large multi-tiered cake. But it's the thing that's most noticeable, and it's the thing that's been winding people up the most. However, even this trip to the Middle East is itself a massive grift. Why is it that Trump's first major international trip, meeting with heads of state in the world, is to the Middle East? Why do you think it is that he went there? Something that is not reported as much is the fact that his family members are also there doing business with those same leaders at the same time about projects from which Trump will make money. For example, he has business dealings with Saudi Arabia. He has property and business dealings with Qatar. And he has property and business dealings with the UAE as well. These are all the places that he stopped. And now we know why he stopped there. Because at the same time as he's meeting with the leaders, his son's also meeting with those leaders in order to ask for investment and money and spending in these projects.
Trump has an ongoing relationship with the Saudi-backed golf tournament, which again uses government money. That is quite common in that region. But the question is, where does that money head? If, like the jet, we are seeing a veritable map of self-dealing as the U.S. government interests, your safety and security around the world, our soldiers, etc., is somehow mixed or even comes second to all of these business dealings. This is a level of profiteering that is unheard of in the modern presidency.
So the grift is on. Trump continues to be on the take. The only difference is that right now it's actually being noticed by people on his own side. And for once, they're finding that they just can't stomach it anymore. I hope you liked the video. I hope you also can join me with more of my content that I'm aiming to make over the coming months and years. You see, this time around, what we're experiencing in this administration is a global trauma, and the people going through it have been asking, how can we support ourselves? How can we learn and grow and share together through this process? So I've started to write a series of ebooks. That's together with my whole team, once a month we're going to produce an ebook to help us understand better the psychology of the people around us and the systems we're in, as well as our own psychology too, to help us navigate this increasingly confusing and disorientating world we find ourselves in. You'll be able to find those books on russellsbooks.com. That's russellsbooks.com. As soon as you go there, you'll be able to see the growing catalogue of books and hopefully buy any of them at any point. In addition, I hope you can subscribe to my e-newsletter. See, there's a link in the description of this video and also the description of the channel. And if you go there, you'll be able to fill out a form. Once you've completed the form, you'll then be able to get subscribed to my e-newsletter. And that way you can always be kept up to date about the content I'm producing. You see, the fact is that this platform, as well as all platforms, are owned by a very small number of oligarchs. And at any point, they might decide to shut down a channel like this. And if they do that, then, well, it's going to be hard for us to keep connecting. So if you sign up for my e-newsletter, that way you'll be able to make sure that you'll be informed about my content wherever it's delivered and wherever it lands. Finally, I hope you might also consider becoming a member of the channel. If you do, you'll get these ebooks for free every month. So all the ebooks I produce go free to my members who join the channel every month. Also, you can get priority response to comments, and there's also a members-only chat page for higher-level members that we engage in regularly to sort of learn, share, and support one another. As I say, this is a difficult time, it's a traumatic time in history, so many of us need support from each other. I'm hoping each of these things can help all of us create a better tomorrow together. Thank you.